If you want to be the go-to doctor, develop that staff. They're waiting to be led, and they want to develop into leaders.
Welcome to AMC. I'm Dr. Greg Miller. Do you have a mission-minded staff in your practice? Today, Tom Owen is going to discuss the importance of building a team that helps your practice stand out in the community. I found his advice on staff training to be particularly helpful. Let's get started.
What do you think the one factor is that has the biggest impact on determining whether you become the go-to doctor in your community? I'm going to give you a second to think about that. What's that one factor that will, over all of them, has the greatest impact on whether you become the go-to doctor? Most people would think it's going to be my technique, it's going to be my philosophy, it's going to be my outreach. But the fact of the matter is, it's actually your team. Your staff is the greatest asset that any practice will possess. It's been said, and it's an absolute fact. In all of my years, 30 plus years of overseeing practices, if I would much rather have an on fire, on point, trained and developed staff more than an on fire doctor. In fact, it's been said that basically give me an on fire staff and a mediocre doctor, and I'll make it fly. But flip it around. Give me an on fire doctor and a mediocre staff that's not developed, that is not passionate, has not been well trained, is not mission minded. You can't do anything with that. It's very stagnant. So most doctors make the mistake of constantly thinking their issues are outside the practice, outside the walls of their practice. Most cases you think it's, I need more new patients and so on. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I'll assure you, investing and developing your team into one mission-minded purpose in a team effort, I'll assure you that will make a biggest impact inside the practice more than running ads and getting more new patients. Because just because you run them in, they go out the door because they don't capture the mission of the practice. Who wins? It's certainly not the patient. This series is about increasing the experience of the patient. Well, nothing will do that. You want to stand out, you want to be different than all the other chiropractors in the area, the patients will be drawn to that mission-minded staff. So how do you do that? Most doctors do not take the time to develop. First of all, hire. Let's say that. You don't hire experience, you hire attitude. And when you get that attitude, that somebody that wants a new career, they don't want it just a job, they want to develop and grow. You get those type of people, and then you share your passion, you share your mission. And how do you do that? Well, you have to have, here's your tools of the video, is you should be having at least a minimum of a 5 to 10 minute morning meeting every morning. Always get your team together. Do 3 things in 5 to 10 minutes. It's not a teaching session, but it is a time to let's remember our purpose and review things that talk about your purpose. That could be like talking about a current patient that just came in. What's their condition? What's the situation? How are we going to invest into that particular patient? It gives you a chance to focus on your purpose. You want to cover something that's inspirational, and then you want to cover something motivational. So an inspiration could be reading a book, something like that, and then motivational is, just a goal. The team should be constantly having short-term, mid-term, long-term goals to be shooting for. Don't want just giant goals that they never reach. You want them to, each and every one of them, have individual goals that they can reach weekly in their own departments, and then cohesively as a group, we want goals that they can reach weekly, monthly, 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, and so on. So that's a morning meeting. If you're not doing that, then the odds of everybody coming together, they got up late for work, everybody has a different experience in the morning, they come home, they come to the office a little distracted. Nothing unifies our purpose, our mission. This is a place of service. It's not, your practice is not there to serve you, doctor, and the practice is not there to serve the staff. The team is there to serve the community, and that's part of how you become the go-to doctor in your community, is mission-minded and just a short staff meeting. Beyond that, weekly training or weekly staff meetings. Now, once a week, I would strongly encourage you to have a 1 hour, once a week staff meeting, whether that's over lunch, how you do that, but you break it down this way. The first 20 minutes to 30 minutes should be teaching the staff. Look, the staff doesn't know unless you teach them what you're doing back there in those treatment rooms. If they don't understand what you do and understand the impact, how are they, as your team, going to ever represent it? They're not going to confidently talk about conditions. They're not going to confidently talk about the practice. They're not going to talk about how chiropractic can impact the patient's lives unless they're confident and at least have an understanding. So once a week, 20 to 30 minutes, train them on a particular condition. And the more you get outside the box of just migraines, neck pain, headaches, chiropractic is a whole lot more than that. Low back pain, that's not what chiropractic was built on. The first 80 years of chiropractic never even heard of back pain. So it went through the hard times building on condition specific. So talk about how does it impact sinuses? How does it impact heartburn and so on? And the more education they have, the more empowered they'll feel, and the more confident they'll feel, and the more they'll feel that they are a part of something special. Now, beyond that, also have a department review. Now, this is not a complaining session. This is not a chance for everyone to put their complaints on the table and bitch and moan about things of that. No, this is a time for the team for what's happening in this department, what's happening in this department, and as a team, how can we support that department? And last but not least, you review with your goals. Where are we sitting? Where are we going? What's our reward together? I encourage you to set up goals that reward the individual, but also have team rewards that everyone's working on together. You do that once, you do that morning meeting, 5 to 10 minutes. You do that weekly training, and you're going to find that the staff is going to start investing into the practice. And so you're investing into the people, the patients, the community, and that is what creates a standalone or a practice that stands out among many, because most doctors don't take the time to do that. Now, last but not least, as a practice grows and the busier you get, the less time you have to manage the most important asset of the practice. So I strongly encourage CA coaching, finding the right source that can provide development for the staff. So as the practice grows, as you have to add staff, it might be right now, you might not even have a staff, but when you have one and then 2, 3, and then it develops, and all of a sudden you're adding functional therapies to the practice, or you're adding nutrition, and there's all these staff-driven niches and things of that nature. You need a coach, a mentor. It's a better word. You need a mentor to help develop that, keeping that cohesive so the production continues to grow and the impact in the community increases. Folks, I hope you got something out of this. I'm telling you, if you want to be the go-to doctor, develop that staff. They're waiting to be led, and they want to develop into leaders. There's not too many people that look forward to going in and punching a clock and just having a job. Everybody wants to have a career and make an impact. And if you're of a service heart, there's no better industry to be in than the service industry of chiropractic, because chiropractic does more for humanity in one day than, frankly, most attorneys do in a lifetime. At least that's my experience. But with that, love you, appreciate you, always here for you. God bless.
Join us at our next training weekend, January 27th to the 29th. If you're new to AMC and would like a free guest pass to 3 days of material like this, text us at 904-966-4996. AMC is your guide to becoming respected, effective, and valued in practice.